Welcome to Two Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. Are you a goofball that loves Giants football? If so, sit back and relax. Except you, that person driving. Sit up and keep your eyes on the road. Your ears, though, can still listen as we talk about the team that both excites and frustrates us so much. And now, here are your goofball hosts, Drew and Rob. I am joined
by me, Rob. Hey, we're at the Super Bowl.
We're not at the Super Bowl. I wish we were at the. We can't say that word too. We have to come out with a different word. We can't have. We're not. We did not say that word. That's for sure. We do not want to get sued by the NFL. These guys are worse than Disney. You ever hear about that every year? Where they go ahead and sue people for saying that. So some people like to call it the superb owl.
Yes, we're at the superb owl.
The superb owl. So I'm going to go ahead and suggest a different name for us because of the fact that it is, going to include the Philadelphia Eagles this year. I think we call it the Super Bowel.
Okay.
The Super Bowel.
We're going to the Super Bowel.
Super Bowel.
Yeah, Super Bowel.
But today, guys, we got some good Giants updates here for you guys. So, you always think, it's the offseason, what's going to happen here? There's plenty going on still with the New York Giants because, for once, people actually care about our coordinators. I know it's an odd feeling, Giants fans. It's been years since anybody's looked at one of our coordinators as a head coach. I want to say, Steve Spagnuolo was the last guy that people were like, oh, maybe he'd be a good coach. And obviously, he failed miserably and is now going on to continue to be a great defensive coordinator once again in the Super Bowl. So first update we have is on Mike Kafta, our offensive coordinator. And I got to say, I'm kind of shocked. He seems to be the bigger name and the bigger draw in the coaching, carousel here than Wink Martingdale has been. And I guess it's because it's an offense-driven league. But so the
I was about to say this league's
Yeah.
all about the offensive coaches right now. Look at our head coach. Right.
Exactly, because everybody wants to develop a quarterback. So Daniel Jones had a great year, compared to especially the last couple of years, and everybody basically involved is going to get a pay bump and a look up because of that. So not just Daniel Jones, who's definitely get a pay bump, obviously, as a result of this. So the Cardinals today requested to interview a few names here. Both coordinators for the Bengals, both Raanan, who's the defensive coordinator, again, our former defensive backs coach, so I guess giant connection there, and also the offensive coordinator, Bill Callahan. That name sounds familiar to you guys, too. It's not the Bill Callahan you're probably thinking of that took the Raiders to the Super Bowl and lost to the Bucs many, many years ago and was a great offensive line coach for many, many years as well. This is his son, and for some reason they don't call him Junior, so I'm guessing they have different middle names. I don't know. Whatever. Maybe the bad relationship.
Sure.
Maybe he forgot to write a Father's Day card or something. I don't get into the family drama. The other news came out today is Kafka is also now being rumored to be a top candidate in the Denver Bronco job. The Denver Bronco job, which you haven't even heard him even mention at all. He hasn't even interviewed yet. And it's weird. They're calling him the second favorite to get the job right now behind the Eagles' defensive coordinator, Jonathan Gannon. Not to be confused with Rich Gannon. We're not going back to the Raider talk again we did a minute ago there.
Yeah.
But I don't understand. How are you the second leading candidate to get a job you've never interviewed for?
Develop Russell Wilson?
That's could you imagine a girl going look at that guy over there. If I can't get this one, I'm going to marry that one. We've never talked before, but something tells me that man can put up a shelf with me big.
5-10 seconds ago at Starbucks, but
hey, Mike.
He's the one.
Mike, that's when you run. That's when you run away quickly. Yeah. Run away. And that's all before Russell Wilson comes out, and then you really want to run away. You don't want to get stuck with that bride. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
That's a job, like I said, it's one of those jobs that you could easily turn it around if you can get Russell Wilson back at all to what he used to be. But, as a first-time coach, I don't think I want that.
At the end of the day, like we're gonna talk more about Kafka and Wink and all that, but
Wink.
they're Wink. But as much as I want to see them evolve and move on, I don't think it's going to happen this year. I think there's a lot that's come to, especially Kafka. It's his first year as an OC. Like, you really want to take the first year OC who, not to put him down because he's did a lot for us, but also use Brian Dable's play calling to call his plays.
Well, I mean, I don't want to take that away. He called his plays, but definitely Brian Dable had a big hand in forming this offense, had a big hand in coaching the offense. But, part of it becomes as well is that you don't get many chances in life for that kind of thing. Especially a guy like Mike Kafka. I don't blame him. Well, what I'm saying is, think about it. You got a guy like Mike Kafka who worked under who? Not just Andy Reid, but Eric Bieniemy, who's been trying to get a head coaching job for what it seems like a decade now. And if you watch something like that develop for years, you're going to say, you know what? I got the chance. I'm an idiot if I don't take it. I don't care if you're actually ready or not. You take the chance when you get the chance because those chances don't keep coming. And sometimes the problem is you fail once and you're done. So it's a calculated risk you got to look at because, there's plenty of guys that don't even get a second shot in this league to be a head coach. So
that's what I'm saying.
That's not a job I would want as a young coach. If I was a guy with experience,
the Broncos,
I would want that job all day long. The big issue is going to be dealing with the headache that's Russell Wilson, basically, because it's not just him as a player; it's him as a person. From some of the stuff you hear about him off the field and everything. So, we'll see. The good news is the Houston Texans ain't gonna get him. They got, supposedly, Demeco Ryans, the defensive coordinator for the Niners, is coming into town, and they fully expect him to sign as the new head coach. So, at least one less team to worry about. So, we just got two to worry about for Mike Kafka, the Cardinals and the Broncos. And we still have, obviously, the issue of Wink Martingdale, who is supposedly, he was going for a second interview this weekend with the Indianapolis Colts. And again,
correct.
I think that Jeff Saturday is a great choice.
Only one. Oh, 100%. But also, Wink's all day Saturday. Only person so far not have heard Saturday every day.
Yeah, that's the only two that I've heard. But there's also other people they want to have as well come in for second interviews. But listen, Jim Irsay, if you're listening, just go ahead and hire Jeff Saturday again. That'd be spectacular, Joyce. I think you don't want anybody with Wink Martingdale. Wink Martingdale.
Just make sure you run Jonathan Taylor.
Exactly. So, like I said, we'll have to see that. Now, the interesting part is Jordan Raanan did say that the Giants believe Wink is a crucial part of what they're building. And then he goes on to mention the fact that there's no cap for coaches. So, guys, keep in mind, we can pay him whatever it takes to keep him. And I have said this for years. NFL coaches, and this is going to sound crazy, but I'm saying it right now, point blank. NFL coaches are underpaid. Look at how important they are to the team. Look what the players make. Look what the owners make. And then let's go ahead and look at what the coaches make. It's not to say they're underpaid compared to me or you. Compared to me and you, they're making a damn good living.
Hell yeah.
They're making a damn good living.
But look at what the coaches make in college. And that's college. That's not the professional football league. It's they're not the NFL. They're not the top rank of what they do, and they're going to pay less than a college coach. So it's like saying, I made varsity doing this. I made a D1, but the guy in high school is making more than I am.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it's insanity. So the average coordinator only makes about $1 million a year. The average head coach makes about $7 million a year. And that sounds like a lot because it's a hell of a lot. A hell of a lot. Ton of money. Like, sign me up for that kind of money right now. I'll do whatever you want me to do, basically. But
maybe we work a few years to go home.
Yeah. But when you look at a guy like Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson, some of these guys that just signed these bigger contracts that are making $40, $50 million a year.
Yeah.
And you want somebody who's getting paid $1 million to be someone they listen to? You think they're going to listen to the guy making that? Like, listen, I make more in one game than you make all year. Shut up. That's what the attitude they're going to have, basically, is when that kind of stuff comes out. So
depends on the player. But yes.
That's why I included Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
That was a strategic move. But I'm just saying, like, they got to get this thing up, and I'm glad that the Giants are willing to say, you know what, we'll make him the highest paid coordinator base if we have to do to keep him. And, you know, the Miami Dolphins literally just made the highest paid defensive coordinator in the league here when they signed Vic Fangio. So, you know, it's one of those things that I can see them doing just to keep him because they do recognize how important it is, and I'm glad they do. So,
I mean, look what he did with the lack of talent we had this year due to injury.
Seriously. So,
I mean, we'll get into free agents going on into the year, but like the amount of people that we signed that they made work.
Yep. Yeah.
Fantastic.
So, we got a comment here from Brianne Marks. I really hope Wink does not take a head coaching job. I know he wants one, but please, God, no. Listen, we're with you, Brianne. We are with you 100%.
100%.
We've said it multiple times. I'd rather lose Kafka than Wink because Wink literally is the defense. He literally is. Kafka leaves. Listen, Shea Turney takes his job, and I think does a perfectly fine job with it, and Davis Webb becomes the QB coach, and I have no issues with that whatsoever. That's not to say that Kafka doesn't help and Kafka doesn't have a big influence in the offense, but it's an easier loss to manage, if that makes sense. It's an easier
100% makes more sense. Like, listen, Brian Daboll, like, he is an offensive coach. Like, I've heard stories about how this guy literally has his own study just filled with playbooks that he's made. Yep. And, like, he gives it to his offensive coordinators. He gives it to his QB coaches. Like, he gives it to, like, everyone. And, like, you go over to dinner to Brian Daboll's house, you talk offensive plays. What does he have for defense? Meh.
Yeah. Well, he's not a defense guy, and he recognizes that. And I like that he recognizes that, and he hired a guy who is well-respected in the league that he had no connection to whatsoever. He went ahead and said, you know what? This is not my strong suit. Let's get the strongest candidate we possibly can, and he went out and got him. And that's the biggest thing with Dabes is the guy goes ahead and says, what can I do? What can I not do? What can my guys do? What can they not do?
Yeah.
That's a coach.
And he picks up on the strong suits
yep.
and the weak suits. And
you know why
he utilizes the strong suits, and he tries to save you from being able to do your weak suit.
You know why he does, though? What makes him so good? Think about his introductory press conference. What did he say he talked about with Daniel Jones?
He loves two giant goofballs.
Huh?
That he loves two giant goofballs.
He told Daniel Jones to listen to us. That's exactly what he said. But what he said was, I asked Daniel Jones to give me what is it you like about the playbook? What is it you don't like about the playbook? What would you like to see added? Give me some plays that you're comfortable with. These are things that tell you this is a guy who's asking for input. He's not trying to go ahead and be the guy that runs everything. Yeah, and that's what he did on defense. So,
and that's a solid leader when it comes into plays. Like,
hells yeah.
He takes the good and the bad, and he grows from that.
Yep. So, yeah, like I said, I think they'll do whatever they have to do to keep Wink. They will literally pay him head coaching money if they have to keep him, I think, personally. And I'll be glad to see it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, so we also have some news that's outside of our building here, but I want to share it because it affects us at least twice a year. The Dallas Cowboys and Kellen More parted ways. And it's weird because he wasn't fired. He didn't quit. They parted ways. It's a mutual
Which
decision.
is a kind of a mutual read between the lines.
Yeah, that's saying leave or else you're going to be forced out of the building, which is crazy because I still say that their perfect head coach they need is in their defensive coordinator position right now, and they should just go ahead and fire the fat man and put the right guy in place. But you know what? I'm glad they don't. Don't listen to me, guys. Whatever you do, don't do anything with Dan Quinn. Leave him where he's at. I know nothing.
Jerry Jones, do what you do.
Yeah, you know better. But yeah, so he got picked up literally within like 12 hours.
Yeah.
And got sent over to the Los Angeles Chargers as their no OC. So, yeah, he's in a good spot now with Justin Herbert. I think he'll be happy with not having a quarterback that, forgets what team he's on and throws to the wrong uniform all the time.
And Justin Herbert, if he's coached right, that guy is going to be a stud.
Oh, yeah.
For the next 10-plus years.
And this is a team that had tons of injuries on offense and did not look right 100%. He can look very good very quickly. He can look very good very quickly. Seriously.
I think like 2 or 3 of their offensive line got hurt right away at the beginning of the year. Like, there's a lot of problems. Plus, what's his face was hurt.
All the receivers were hurt at one point. Like every single one, they were as bad as we were at basically at some points, where they had like all 3 or 4 receivers out. It's like, you're going to look bad that way. Justin Herbert had the rib injury as well.
It doesn't matter how good of a quarterback you are. If your number 1 is what should be number 5 in any other team, you're not going to look that great.
Yep.
You can look good to a point, but how can you look great when number 5 is your number 1?
Yeah, it's like I said, same thing we deal with. So on to our TMZ version of the Two Giant Goofballs here, because some of this stuff's a little ridiculous to report on, but we're going to do it anyway. Who cares? So there's a rumor going around about Sterling Shepard and his new love interest. And just getting a pump in there. They're going Mary J Blige and Sterling Shepard are supposedly an item. And people are going crazy.
Quite frankly, I don't give a damn.
Yeah, no, I mean, people go crazy, though, about her age because she's 50. Listen, if this was reverse and Shepard was 50 and he was dating a woman in her late 20s, no one would say a damn thing. Who cares? You know what? Whatever you guys want to do, you're both consenting adults. Screw everybody else.
Did you want to go over Geno as well?
I totally forgot Geno. I totally skipped it in my episode notes here. Oh, oof.
Say Geno, man.
Smith, Geno. Listen, I skipped over Geno like 31 other NFL teams.
Some of his career, 32 teams.
Yeah, so ex-Giant Geno Smith. He won the PFWA Comeback Player of the Year, which we talked about the Coach of the Year award they gave out to Brian Dable. So Geno Smith won their Comeback Player of the Year. So we'll have to see what that means for the actual NFL award for Comeback Player of the Year that Saquon Barkley is in the running for. But hopefully Saquon wins it. Also, no pun intended when I say he's in the running for it.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Oh, I didn't even do it. I mean to do it. I just noticed it when I said it. So Sneaky. Not like Sneaky Pete, but...
Oh, he's in the running to get back into first place.
Oh, yes. So, in other ex-Giant news here now, Michael Strahan received his star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And who the hell would have thought, 15 years ago that Michael Strahan would become an absolute, media icon, after retiring from football. That's crazy. I'll tell you right now, Kayvon, we hear about him, being part of, the inner circle with Strahan and all. If you're a young player, listen to what Mike says. You want to be like Mike, okay?
100%.
This
is Mikey,
the guy.
He likes it.
Yeah. He's probably made more money since he retired.
Oh, 100%.
That's the crazy part. I mean, more money since he's retired. This was a Hall of Fame defensive end in the biggest market in the entire country.
And he did what the live show with took over Reeves' spot, so he had a buttload of money with that. Plus all the stuff he does with Fox.
Could you imagine 20 years ago someone told us hey, guess what? When Regis is done, guess who's going to take his place? Michael Strahan. I
probably would have laughed at everyone out of the building.
That would have been a moment for Back to the Future. Where, who's the president? Ronald Reagan, the actor. That would have been that kind of moment for us. Goddamn. Yeah. So we also got ex-running back.
Yeah, it gets bigger and bigger.
Oh, listen, it's a trademark. He's making tons of money on it.
Yeah.
Ex-running back Tyrone Wheatley. We all remember him from the early 90s. Those of us that are old enough, including myself. The guy who was supposed to be the guy to take over Rodney Hampton. He was hired as the Wayne State head coach, so he's now a college football head coach. So good to see that, an ex-Giant there. Kudos. So I have no clue where Wayne State is. I've never heard of it before, but whatever. Good job. You got farther in your coaching career than most people have.
I'm pretty sure Wayne is not a state in the United States. Just saying.
Well, Fort Wayne is the capital of Indiana, isn't it? No, Indianapolis is. But Fort Wayne is in Indiana.
Just saying, Wayne is not a state.
Wayne State is in Detroit. So,
okay.
I'm just saying right now that I'm hoping that part of his, welcome package includes a bulletproof vest. So, yes, good pizza, but good shankings too. The NFL today also released its new salary cap. Who wants the money, money, money? It's all about the money, money, money.
Show me that money, money.
So this salary cap went up again to its highest point ever. Remember, like 2 years ago, because of COVID, it would drop down actually. Now it's at its highest point ever again. So $224.8 million, $250 million, basically.
How come they just couldn't round it up to $225 million? Come on.
Well, 250 would make it a quarter, but I'm saying it's almost $250 million. So give it a couple years, it'll get there, especially the new TV contracts and all. So the Giants now, they have an update on us. We are at $44.7 million in cap space. And we are third behind both the Chicago Bears and the Atlanta Falcons. And you have to wonder, looking at the numbers, do the Chicago Bears have anybody actually signed? Because they have $91.8 million. Think about it. We're number 3 at 44.
Well, I mean, they have
91.8.
They also got a lot of young talent.
They also have the number 1 draft pick.
Because they got a lot of young talent.
And they don't need a quarterback.
Which is crazy because into week 6, everyone's like, do they need a quarterback? Should they draft a quarterback? And all of a sudden, Fields exploded.
Yep.
They don't need a quarterback.
I'm telling you, wait. This is going to be like another year or two if Justin Fields actually learns to throw the ball besides just run it.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. This is a guy that's going to set up on a great team, and the Chicago Bears are going to be something to watch. It's going to be fun for a couple of years there, hopefully. So we also have some fun Twitter news. Who doesn't love some good old Twitter news here? Oh,
bring up Kayvon.
Kayvon Thibodeau, the troublemaker.
Kayvon Thibodeau, come on down.
You're
the next contestant on the 2 Giant Goofballs.
Our snow angel. So, Kayvon literally goes on Twitter during the game with the 49ers and the Philadelphia Eagles, which we'll give our thoughts on later on. Cliffhanger. And he tweets out there, way this game look, we might be better than the 49ers. And a bunch of smiling, laughing, cry faces. I don't know what you call those emojis. I'm not good at the emoji names, people. I'm old. Yeah, so Joe Staley, of all people. Now, for those who don't know who Joe Staley is, you probably don't know football and are listening to something that's random. So, welcome. So, Joe Staley was an all-decade player in the 2010s. I guess they were calling it the 10s, the teens. I don't know, whatever.
I guess so. Something like that.
6-time Pro Bowl tackle. 6-time Pro Bowler. The average length of an NFL career, 3 years. He did twice that in just Pro Bowl selections. That just tells you what kind of career this man had. He sends to him a response. And I get it. I'd be pissed if I was a Niner too. That's kind of disrespectful. Kayvon, stay out of it. We got our butts whooped last week. Stay out of it. He posts, you are a flash player that gets bodied by average tackles. Don't let the New York media affect you too much. Kayvon comes back. Who are you, bro? Now, I got to remember, this is the second time that Kayvon's gotten to a Twitter match basically saying, I don't know who this person is. First was Jeff Saturday. The second one is Joe Staley. So you got to wonder, are we just that old that we can't believe that nobody's heard of these people? Or is Kayvon just not know football players? Does he not know the history of the game?
Or is he
just one of those guys that just plays it naturally well and just doesn't follow this kind of BS?
Or is he that much of a troll?
Yeah, so I definitely think he's trolling. I definitely do.
Yeah.
So then Kayvon comes back with, I don't care how famous you think you are. If I don't know you, I don't know you. Like, yeah, he's just messing. He's just messing. And I love it and I hate it at the same time. I got such mix on that, it's not even funny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But
I'm right there with you.
I'll tell you what I'm not mixed on, though. Oh, yes. What I'm not mixed on is the goddamn Empire State Building. What the hell, Empire State Building? This is like, whew. This got people riled up, including myself.
If you don't follow our Twitter, shame on you. Follow our Twitter.
So they went ahead and posted that the Eagles won the NFC. And what they did was they went ahead and changed the colors to green and white.
And not for the Jets.
Yeah, not for the Jets at all. And what they said is, because they won the championship, it said, "Fly, Eagles, fly. We're going green and white in honor of the Eagles' NFC championship victory." And they posted a picture of the green and white on the Empire State Building. The Empire State Building. Like, this is New York's biggest landmark, basically, besides the Statue of Liberty, against the biggest rivals
to New York,
the Philadelphia Eagles. Stop it!
What's next? What baseball season comes around? You can put red and white out there for the Sox.
Yeah, we're gonna blast Caroline through Times Square. It's ridiculous. So then, the guy who was the Presidente of Barstool there goes ahead and does a wow video, and it's fine for him because that's like his shtick is just being like, Barstool has that mentality of like, they're like us, they don't care, they're gonna say what they want to say, and they're gonna mess with people in the process. But then the Empire State Building retweets him. Like, what the hell? Do you not know whose team you're on? Then they say, Empire State Building, I'm telling you, whoever runs their social media should be fired. Usually, there's no such thing as bad publicity. This is bad publicity. So the Empire State Building puts up, "That hurt us more than it hurt you. F you, it didn't." That was my addition. "We're now lit for the Chiefs in honor of their AFC championship win." And they posted it all red. And listen, I got no beef with them doing the red for the Chiefs. I have no hate for the Chiefs. I root for the Chiefs in this game, not just because that they're playing the Eagles, but because I root for Spags as a former, Giants coordinator. But yeah, that's what happened. And then, so somebody posted to them a whole bunch of, evil, mean tweets and everything, and they're reposting it, saying, "We'll see you at the big game." Like, what the hell?
What is going on here?
I would like, I don't know, let's see what you think about this, Rob. I would like to start a petition to change the name of the Empire State Building to the Benedict Arnold Building. Because
I can get behind
traitors. Like, are you kidding me?
I could 100% get behind that.
That's ridiculous. I mean, some of the comments they got there were pretty funny, though. Like, someone put King Kong should have destroyed you.
Oh, it's fantastic.
So, now the best of this whole saga was the New York City sanitation that post, "For anyone who finds this as treacherous, traitorous, and unforgivable as we do, just pretend it's green and white for hashtag New York Strongest. We take out the trash every day, and next year, that'll include the Eagles." Fan-freaking-tastic, guys.
The heroes in New York.
So, for those of you guys listening in New York City, I want you to remember this tweet that they made. And when it comes time to tip your sanitation workers, Christmas time coming up, tip them well. They deserve it for that tweet alone.
Yeah. I mean, all my colleagues around the corner, Valentine's Day, get sanitation workers some chocolates, maybe a bottle of wine.
Exactly. Listen, they probably would enjoy a bottle of wine.
Yeah, maybe not flowers, so throw them out.
Yeah, maybe whiskey. Give it a bottle of whiskey and a cigar.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's crazy. And if the Eagles win the Super Bowl and they light the thing up green again, then I'm suggesting a boycott of the building.
100%.
Point blank. All Giant fans boycott the Empire State Building. Do not go there. Feel free to go out there holding signs saying, "Don't visit this. This is the worst place ever to go. It's the most overrated tourist site ever." And then, give a new building maybe that wouldn't do such a thing as a better alternative.
Fly, Eagles, fly away.
Yeah, fly away to the off season when you hopefully lose the Super Bowl. So, we got another comment here. Bullshit calls yesterday. Bengals got robbed from Ken Cristiano. And Ken, we're going to get into the games right now. And he also has that one fake city. What city's fake, Ken? Which city?
I guess New York.
New York? Is New York fake? Is it a figment of our imagination? All these movies made me think it's real. Damn you, Home Alone 2. So,
Kevin!
First, let's go over to the Eagles and the Niners game because
I don't want to.
That game. Oh, Ken just said Philadelphia. That's the fake city. Listen, I don't want to say it's a fake city, but the Eagles and their fans are horrible people. There's plenty of people, I'm sure, in the Eagles and Philadelphia that don't like the Eagles and root for other teams and just enjoy a good cheesesteak. I don't know. Plus, there was this one guy from West Philadelphia where he was born and raised. And on the playground is where he spent most of his days. Listen, it gave us Will Smith, okay? Slap happy Will Smith. And it may have also given us Bill Cosby, so that kind of levels it out, but,
I was about to say, I don't know if you want to mention Bill Cosby.
That's what I'm saying. Levels it out. Where, yeah. He was a little too much into the brotherly love there. Yeah.
Sisterly love.
Yeah, don't grab a drink from that man. Just saying.
Yeah.
So the NFC Championship game, though, I feel robbed. I feel robbed, and I'm not even a Niner fan.
I am robbed.
Imagine. Which Ken goes now? What city closes at 12 a.m.? Philadelphia. To be very frank with you, Ken, I don't go anywhere near Philadelphia that late because I know too many people that I've actually gotten jumped and hurt in Philadelphia because it's just that nice a city. New York, move around, no problem. Philadelphia, yeah. Brotherly shanking.
Yeah.
They need the Tyrone Wheatley welcome package when you go there. So, but yeah, like I said, I feel like the Niners got robbed, absolutely freaking robbed. So Brock Purdy gets in after the Eagles score on the very first drive on a BS call that should have been a call back and not catch. What is that, 40 some odd yards that catch?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they got a touchdown because of that. And it was obviously not a touchdown. It should have been reviewed. And I think the NFL should look at, beyond just doing reviews for touchdowns, maybe anything over 25 yards should be looked at, reviewed. I think that's fair. Because a 5-yard catch may or may not, change much. But a 45-yard catch, or whatever that was, that changes a game sometimes.
100% changes the game. That not if it doesn't put you in the red zone, it at least most likely will put you in field goal range. So there will be points on the board.
Yeah. So I mean, I think we have to look at the the rules for that. And I don't want to make it seem like we start doing every single play becomes a review, but that's not every play. That's a big play when you get rid of half the field in one swing. And that's when it should have been looked at. And if it had, that might have changed that first drive. It may have changed some things. Who knows? Because what happened to the 49ers wasn't a result of that. It was just a result of how many quarterbacks can you lose? How many quarterbacks can you lose?
They got pantsed. This is what happened. They got pantsed in that game.
They got sleeved. Because of an elbow injury and a concussion.
Yeah.
And so, Brock Purdy, the third play of his game there, gets his elbow basically ripped off. And then, of course, Johnson comes in, their backup, who, remember, guys, Josh Johnson used to play for us. He's played for basically every single team in the NFL. because he's just not good. That's why he was available so late in the season.
I mean, and let's also remember Lance, Garoppolo, Purdy.
Yeah.
Where does Johnson fall in line?
Number 4. Numero quattro.
And was he there at the beginning of the year?
Nope.
Exactly.
And should he be there any part of the year? Nope.
No. But when your starting 2 quarterbacks go out.
Yep. So he gets sacked as well, though. And his head hits the ground pretty hard. And, of course, now he's in concussion protocol, and he's out for the game. Christian freaking McCaffrey was getting his helmet changed in case he had to play quarterback. Christian McCaffrey.
Didn't he take a snap as quarterback?
Yes.
And throw it to another Deebo Sanders? Or, right, Deebo Sanders is in the backfield?
See, now you're going to make me have to look at the box score to see that part. I could have swore I remember seeing him do a pass, but I can't remember who to or anything like that. But the whole thing is that once that happened, that game was over. That game was over. Like, it's not even fair at that point. And I don't mean like it's not fair, wow. I'm just saying I feel bad. Yeah, it was one pass he threw. I don't know who to. 0 for 1. But I mean, Brock Purdy threw 4 passes in the game. 4. Yeah, there goes Ken. He threw to no one. Yes, he did. He threw to no one. But, I mean, it's just like, to have a season like the 49ers have had.
Ken is right, because they re-looked at it to see if it was intentional grounding. But he broke the pocket.
But it's like, you have this big buildup of the season. You have the best defense in the NFL. You get a rookie quarterback to come out of nowhere and to go on a streak like that. And then to have it all wasted. Dude, I feel bad. And I don't feel bad for many teams ever. I feel so bad for 49er fans.
And, Ken, this one's for you. They lost to the Bears week 1.
Yeah. Yes, they did. But they also
dominated the rest of the season.
Yeah. That was with Trey Lance. That doesn't count.
Yeah, their number 1 quarterback. You're right.
So Trey Lance is a piece of poop. I'm sorry. He's just not good. He's not good.
I didn't think he was the answer from the get-go.
No, and I think they were trying to force him on the team because of the trade they pulled off, and unfortunately, the Niners had to deal with that. So, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's sad. It really is. There was plenty of plays that I thought also did not go the way that they should have in that game as well. I think that it was hard for the Niners to have a chance with their third-string quarterback, who don't get me wrong, is probably played better than all their quarterbacks. I'm not trying to demean Brock Purdy after talking so well about him for so long. I still think he did an amazing job this season. But he can't even throw the damn ball.
Yeah, they literally came in the second half just to hand off the ball.
Basically. And they announced today what happened. So he suffered a complete tear of his UCL. That's his throwing elbow. Will undergo surgery. He's getting second opinions, but the initial hope is they can do a repair, not a reconstruction. Now, does anyone know what the reconstruction of the UCL is called? Baseball fans will know this very well.
Tommy John surgery.
Tommy John surgery. That's how bad the injury was, folks. So, you know what? As much as I want to say F you, Philly, and I just did, and I meant it, I also want to say, Brock Purdy, you're a freaking soldier. You went in there to play with your freaking ligament torn on your throwing elbow and threw. Granted 4 times, but you still threw. Woo. That ain't easy. For him just to get a rush. Imagine if he was back there and got hit in that elbow again.
Imagine every time he throws the ball, how much pain he was in.
That's like Ronnie Lott ballsy right there. That's what that is. That's that ballsy. And I don't think he's getting enough credit for what he did. because that takes some, like I said, that takes some huevos there, to put it nicely. That really does.
Yeah, and let's just talk about for what he's done, what he did. Like, look, we talked about it before. Like, he's been lights out. This is his first loss as a starter.
Yep.
And it took him tearing a ligament in his elbow to his throwing elbow for him to lose a game.
And I'll say this: yes, the Eagles won. Yes, the Eagles won. Yes, the Eagles going to the Super Bowl. But it's like an asterisk win. It's like an asterisk win. Don't get me wrong. I would take it if the Giants had this same scenario happen. If we had won the game against the Eagles and we had to play the Niners and this happened with us on the field, I would still take it. I would not feel bad. It's a win. It happens. That's life sometimes. But Eagle fans just floating around to the greatest thing since sliced bread when they beat a third-string quarterback and a fourth-string quarterback combo with a torn elbow ligament. Like, what are you doing? Stop.
And as much as I would say, you do still have to give some credit because it was still 31-7. They stopped. They stopped the number one defense at that.
It's not one to brag about. They didn't stop the defense. You shouldn't
be bragging.
The defense was. The defense couldn't do that, though. That's the problem, because they couldn't stay off the field. Because
I was about to say they were on the field the whole time. Yeah, we were talking about Johnson getting 74 yards on the day, and you're talking about Purdy getting 23 yards, and McCaffrey. Those three quarterbacks start for you that collectively put less than 100 yards. Like, you're going to have a rough day.
Yeah. So
I don't think they even put 200 yards of offense on the field.
No, and the whole thing was just insane. I mean, they literally put up 97 yards passing. And 74 of that was from Josh Johnson.
Yeah.
McCaffrey had 84 yards. He had a pretty good game. But that was it. Like I said, I feel bad. Like I said, I just feel bad. I really do for them. But now the Eagles go on to face the Kansas City Bengals after their win against the
Kansas City Bengals?
Against Kansas City Bengals, the Kansas City Chiefs. I was thinking about both teams. I was thinking about y'all. The Kansas City Chiefs, who beat the Cincinnati Bungles, that we have to say after what happened.
Bungholes.
I didn't say that. Ooh, that's a whole different thing.
Oh, sorry. Misunderstood.
Bengals, and Bungles, not bungholes.
And also, I also want to give some kudos to this game too, because we thought this was going to be like just a throw fest. This is a more defensive game than I thought. It was more defensive game than what we saw in the NFC.
Yeah.
And kudos to both those defense.
But except for one player. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
You know where I'm going to go with this.
Go on down.
No, honestly, I feel bad for the kid. I really do. So, to go ahead and basically cost your team the entire, chance of getting a Super Bowl at that point. I mean, that's just crazy. So Joseph Asai, the what was he? I think it's a second-year player, I think, if I remember correctly, out of Texas.
I think so.
Yeah. So the game was basically on the line. Patrick Mahomes, the freaking warrior he is, and we'll talk about that in a little bit there, goes to run the ball for the very first time because he's got this bum ankle. Runs the ball, goes to run it out of bounds, and gets hit when he's like a yard and a half out already of bounds. That's a 15-yard penalty. And it turned what would have been a long field goal into a very manageable field goal. And that's how the Cincinnati Chiefs won. And I felt bad for that man. And the TV's like showing pictures of him crying. The poor guy is like, trying to go ahead and like block his face and his eyes with his chin strap and all. Like, I felt bad for that man. I really did.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going
he's
soft
a competitor.
this episode, apparently. I feel bad for 49ers fans and Joseph Asai, but like seriously, like We could play Monday morning quarterback all we want, but oh look, we watched it in slow motion. It was so easy to stop. It's a totally different thing when you're going live.
Yeah, when you're
and
running
I'm not
50
saying
miles
he
an
shouldn't
hour.
have stopped. Yeah.
When you're running 15 miles an hour and someone's running at you 15 miles an hour, that's a collision waiting to happen. Like, sometimes it's not that easy to flip to the side or do whatever you got to do not to hit the zone.
Nope.
And he's playing for a championship. And that's what he was trying to do, was stop the quarterback from getting a first down, stop the quarterback from getting better field position. And he made a mistake. It happened. It's not – there's not much he could have done otherwise to prevent that.
Nope. And I'm with you. Like I said, I feel bad for the guy, and I'm glad I saw some members of his team going up to him and talking to him and comforting him afterwards, because that's one of those things that that's like that's like a Bill Buckner kind of thing at that point. You know what I mean? Like, that's like that kind of thing that if you might be known for that in that city forever. Like, if he doesn't have a good career, he may end up getting known for that.
He's young.
He's young.
He looks like he has a lot of talent.
He certainly did coming out of college, that's for sure.
Yeah, so I think he redeems himself next season.
Yeah.
But, like, the Bengals, this is probably the best team the Bengals may have ever had going down their years. And it came down to that play. And you're right. That's something that may sit with him for quite a while until he redeems himself.
It would me. I'd be freaking livid with myself at that point. So, but let's talk a little bit on the Chiefs, because Patrick Mahomes, oh my gosh, dude! Like I said, I called him a warrior a minute ago. We use that term probably too often in sports, but you got a guy with a bum ankle, with what, 3 out of his, actually no, more than 3. So you had what? He was already missing some guys going into this game. He had three more receivers go down during the game. He's basically got 2 receivers left in the roster that are healthy. Because, oh my God, Kadarius Toney got hurt. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Breaking news. I'm shocked. I am absolutely shocked. Oh my gosh. I can't believe.
He also had a touchdown.
We're breaking it out. We're breaking it out. Breaking news. Breaking news. So, who would have thought Kadarius Toney got injured? Oh my God. Oh, in the same leg.
Yeah.
Oh, I can't believe. I really can't believe. Still that we got a draft pick for that guy, but whatever. So, but yeah, I mean, the guy literally had like his backup tight end going wide out because they were out of receivers to throw the ball to, and you know what that means? They're like triple teaming Travis Kelce at that point. It's
pretty much.
Gotta give the guy credit. Like I said, he just totally beasted. I gotta give both teams credit because that was a damn good game. They both, I thought, played their hearts out. And that was the kind of game that, as a football fan, you hope to see. You hope to see it. And
that was the game I was really looking forward to this weekend, and it did not disappoint,
Yep.
except the fact that I was wrong on my pick.
I would say we apparently cannot pick the AFC or NFC championship games very well because
I guess the only thing I could go for me is that the spread, and oh no, I totally lost the spread too. Never mind. I am way off.
You know what though?
I lost too much money this weekend.
I'm going to say this though. No one could have seen what happened to the Niners quarterbacks.
No.
And if Brock Purdy was healthy the whole game, I will still say this: the Niners would have won. I still think that. I still think they're the better team.
Yeah, hands down.
You can't win with a freaking quarterback with basically needs a Tommy John surgery.
I mean, what was the possession of the game, the ball at that point? Like, how long was that defense on the field?
Yeah, it's just that
you can't expect great play from the players that are playing for majority of the game. Like, it's not going to happen. They're going to get tired.
Yep. Yeah, it's all craziness.
Yeah.
It's all craziness. But
I
guess that's what we got now. Yeah.
Was it Pachenko, the running back for the Chiefs? Rutgers boy?
Yep.
Had himself a good game.
And I think it's safe to say that as Giant fans, we are now officially Kansas City Chiefs fans for the next 2 weeks. Kansas City Chiefs fans. Yes. Kansas City Chiefs all the way. So
yeah.
So Giant fans, we're going to have some more updates on the team and some off-season topics coming up here later in this week. Obviously, we got the Pro Bowl this week, so there's no really game to go ahead and talk about. But we will also talk about the Pro Bowl as well, because it is a new format this year. And Eli Manning's a part of it. Eli Manning. So.
And his brother Fivehead.
His Fivehead. That guy is like, I tell you, he's like the evil guy from the Hulk that had the big head. I forget his name.
Yeah. Now he's, I think he's like, his hairline's receding, so he might be a 6-head.
Yes, exactly. And I think, from what I heard, Chad Powers may come into the game.
Can't stop, won't stop.
Think fast, be fast. Think fast, be fast. But yeah, like I said, I'm kind of curious to see what it is, because let's be honest, the entire Pro Bowl has been a joke basically since they started it, and I really want to see what happened now with the new kind of setup and see if it works any better. But like I said, we're gonna go down some of the stuff for you guys. I know a lot of the other podcasts have been going over kind of off-season stuff already. We wanted to go ahead and wait a week and before we started doing that kind of stuff. So we are going to have this week an award show for our picks for different awards that we've made up for the New York Giants. If any of those Giants that win want to come on to take an acceptance speech afterwards, we will certainly allow that. Though they'll probably worry that we'll cuss too much and get them in trouble.
It's a fair assessment.
We have a reputation. It is what it is. We're from Jersey. We cuss, goddammit.
Yeah.
So we're trying to be nice. I said goddammit. That's much better than what I usually
say. That's how I drive.
Yes.
I don't know how to drive without saying the F word.
Just show off the state bird.
Yeah.
So, like I said, we'll have plenty of content for you guys on that as well all week long, so keep an eye out. And the best, hit that subscribe button. So keep in mind now, there's 2 ways you could be doing the show, because we're now into our, second or third week now of doing live streaming. So we're now streaming on YouTube, we're streaming on Facebook, and we're streaming on Twitter. We may be adding some more later on, if you already have some other social media pages ready to go, in case we decide to do that. We're also, of course, as always, on pretty much every single podcast platform, if you prefer an audio version. So if you want the video, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. If you want the audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, any kind of podcast platform you can basically think of.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
Exactly. And we're also on Instagram and TikTok, but we haven't been using them as much because they won't let us live stream on there through the program we use. If they play it nice, but others would be on there more often. But we're still there. So if you're on there, hit like, hit share, hit all that stuff there, please. It helps us grow the show. Helps us. We know that people care about us. Because we care about you, Giant fans. We care.
Yeah.
Remember, sharing
You're
is
my
caring.
boy Blues.
You're my boy Blue. And we have another comment here, which is more of a rock on. Frankie Curtis. Rock on, Frankie.
Rock on, Frank.
Rock on. Like by Jack Black here. So, again, guys, we want to thank you very much for listening in today. We appreciate you guys taking the time out to listen to these 2 goofballs talk about Giants football. We could talk about it for hours and hours on end. And if you go to any of our podcast platforms or social media pages, you'll see we have talked about it for hours and hours on end, and we will continue to do
all season,
because we're just fans like you guys. We love the team. We live for Giants football. So if you guys are like us and that, hit that subscribe button. We got plenty more coming. And as always, Giant fans, go G-Men!
Go G-Men!
Go G-Men!
KC, Mahomes,
go
G-Men,
Kansas City Chiefs as well. Go G-Men and Chiefs.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to 2 Giant Goofballs, a New York Giants podcast. We appreciate your support. If you made it this long, you must have enjoyed it. So I am sure you have followed us on all the social media platforms. Of course, you have subscribed to the show on your favorite app as well and given us a top rating. Right? Right? Right?